I got stung by a nettle yesterday, John.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you curse the Romans?
No, but I did curse the nettle. It was very windy
I got
yesterday.
stung by a nettle yesterday too.
We need to stop talking about nettles.
I feel we've run out of stuff. I should probably cut the last 5 minutes.
No. The people. If they were here for actual fab news, John, they would be here.
I'm happy to just chat over coffee, but
this is the thing. Like this is again. We're gonna.
This is what we used to chat about before we just exclusively talked about fab.
Exactly. This is what people signed up for. They want to hear us talk absolute waffle, John. We need to fill out the time. This is people's drive to work. It's people's early work day. We need to fill it out with waffle that they don't care about.
I'll put this up front.
God, yeah, that's one hell of a call. Yeah. Okay. I'm out of stuff to say, John. Maybe we'll call it there.
Cool. Let's call it there. Welcome to Energy Potion, a flesh and blood podcast where we chat about trying, failing, and sometimes succeeding to play flesh and blood as competitively as we can. This episode was recorded in front of a live audience at an exclusive secret location. Before you smash the like, follow, or subscribe buttons, just take a moment. Do you really want your friends and connections to hear the latest hot takes and brute techs before you get to play them yourself?
Spent a lot of money on it, John.
It's an expensive weekend. It's an expensive weekend.
Yeah, I know. It all came out on Saturday.
I'm not even staying anywhere.
No.
I'm going to drive up both days.
That's probably cheaper.
That's actually silly. It's silly of me because I missed a Black Friday deal on a nice hotel nearby. But there we are. Maybe I should have done that instead.
Yeah, we ended up paying a not a zero sum amount of money on accommodation.
If hotel's still got a deal.
You might still be able to find somewhere pretty decent. Obviously, the later you leave it, the prices go up, as is the way. But it does mean after you win the calling, you can have maybe one drink, have a nap.
That is true, actually.
As a little treat.
I should do that. I'll add it to my list of things to do when I get home.
Winning a calling would be fun.
Well, playing a calling's gonna be fun.
Playing a calling in itself is fun.
But that's like miles away.
It is.
That's part of the problem. It
is miles away.
It's miles away in February.
Because right now we're obviously knee deep in vigorous testing for
skirmish,
the premier competitive format Blitz. I'm sure both of us are.
I'm not playing Blitz.
I have.
Is there a CC event that evening?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we're doing skirmish into CC.
Can I borrow Reinhardt for that CC event?
Yes.
There we go. Sorted.
Yes, I'm still on my World of Wraith tour of CC decks since the last competitive season. I've played a bit of Reiner, won that armory by the way. Played a bit of Florian, won that one as well, 4-0. I'm feeling the call of the Searing Emberblade after Ellie Bird's fantastic performance.
Ellie Bird's performance and video.
She did very, very well at
video
Worlds.
as well.
And then had a lovely video with Lupine Fiasco, where she broke down a lot of the thinking behind Fi, her particular list, and I obviously agreed with a lot of what she said. This is going to disappoint Callum almost exclusively, probably will be cutting the Compounding Anger from the list. I don't hate it. I just
it doesn't feel.
I'm on.
I see that.
I'm closer to cutting a Lava Burst and adding a fourth Lava Burst. But some people love Lava Burst, so that's on them. Regardless, Fi, he's fun. He's relatively cheap. He's getting a new card soon as well, so I want to shake off the dust in case he becomes best deck in format for RTN season. And yeah, I just want to play a bit of Ninja. I love a bit of Ninja. A bit go wide. It's him or Katsu. I could play Katsu as well.
Don't play Katsu. Everyone has a miserable time when you play Katsu.
I have a great time.
Yeah,
playing Katsu.
Well,
what if you could hold the entire room at ransom for every single head jab, saying it's 3, but it could be 4. For 4 rounds back to back every turn. It's great. It's great. It's fantastic, and everyone's playing some sort of fun stuff as well. Like the meta game the other night at the Armory was fantastic. I think the most played deck was joint between Reiner and Riptide.
What?
That three copies each, I think.
Big green meta.
And what's great is that I wasn't one of the Reiners. I don't think.
No, I wasn't. Florian.
I was on Florian.
Yeah.
So it's just like even.
Yeah.
So it was fantastic. It was beautiful. These are the kind of meta games I do like a lot. Obviously, they're not fantastic or conducive for competitive testing.
But there is no competitive testing in CC at the moment because there's a BNR in 2 weeks. And
Well,
until that BNR,
precisely.
there is no competitive testing to be done.
Well, there's loads of competitive testing to be done, John, but how much it's worth remains to be seen.
Exactly. and likewise, this is the thing with Sage, is I think I've got 2 half-built Sage decks on my desk. I'm like, but Chain's really good at the moment, and that's not one of the half-built decks. And
Well, that's one
Guardian's
of the things we can
really
talk
good.
about in a little bit.
And that's not one of the half-built decks. I'm sat there a little bit lackluster on my Sage-built deck building. I don't know what to play in CC. I'm going to borrow Rhinar this weekend.
Best decking format.
But I'm like, I'm fairly sure Syndra's going to get nerfed.
I think Syndra will get a little tap on.
I think she'll be brought down a
on the
power
shoulder.
level, and who knows what fills that void. Verdance will be brought down a power level. Who knows what fills that void? Jarl, as much fun as Fatigue Jarl is,
Yeah, I don't think Jarl's getting hit, John.
I don't think he's getting hits. But as I said last week, he's not a strong competitive deck for various reasons. He's hard. He's hard for reasons where you can pick a competitive deck that isn't hard for those reasons. That's what I kind of mean. He is competitive in his play.
Yes.
But as a tournament, you've got to have additional tournament skills that I don't want to have to develop between now and then.
They're heuristics that you have to build over a long, long time. And the indictment for Jarl comes from the Calling Valencia this very weekend, where Jarl's strongest soldier in Jason Rolfe was not playing him.
Yes.
Even Jason Rolfe has been corrupted by the metagame bug. He's become a slave to the metagame.
I mean, he does this. He tries to get away from Jarl.
Yeah.
He'll be on Jarl next tournament.
Well, do you know what he played?
No, I have no idea what happened in Valencia, Toby. I'm waiting for you to tell me.
Well, when I say he's a slave to the metagame, what I mean is, what do you think he played? What do you think Jason would play?
An Earth Hero.
Well, he didn't.
It wasn't an Earth Hero, and it wasn't Jarl. Hang on.
Other heroes are available.
But I've never seen him like... Oh, wait, Victor. He's played Victor before.
He has played Victor before.
He has played Victor before, but it wasn't Victor.
Well, I told you, with Victor, you were actually incredibly close, John. I'd like to remind you he made day 2 on a nearly undefeated day 1 record.
Valda?
No. You've gone farther away now.
I've gone further away. So Victor's close.
Victor's probably as close as you can get.
Bravo?
No, gone further away.
Wait, so...
Think more familial. Think more brotherly.
No, Lyeth?
Yes. Yeah, I think he ended up something close to like 5-1 day 1. I'll fact check that in post. But he had a fantastic run on Lyeth, on a fantastic looking deck as well. And he had a game on camera against Anton, another local player, obviously fantastic player, playing Marionette. And poor Anton. There were multiple times where you could just see that he was, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I'm being smacked for like 14 with an on hit, and he's got 6 might and like another aura to pop next turn. So it's like, what do I do? It was fantastic. So yeah, maybe we should play Lyeth. But again, I would also strongly advise against playing Lyeth. It does seem to be the kind of deck that would require a very specific set of skills and understanding of the game at large. But it was very fun to watch. As was the rest of the Calling Valencia, and as was
what happened. Go on then. What happened in Calling Valencia before we get to the main event?
Well, Battle Hardened.
Before we get to the Battle Hardened stage, the main event that weekend. What happened in Calling Valencia?
So Calling Valencia, we had a relatively interesting looking top 8, I believe. I'll get up the exact details now.
Because there was a point where I was talking about going to Calling Valencia as well.
We were, well, I say we.
I did end up at a children's birthday party instead, which was nowhere near as exciting.
Probably not as competitive either.
No. Although I highly recommend Zootropolis too.
Zootropolis, yeah, it's on the list.
Yeah.
It's on the list. I want to go at a time when perhaps there won't be oodles of children present.
I did really well. We only had 12 children.
Good. That's good. So we had in the top 8 2 English players, 2 British players.
Okay.
Which is already pretty strong. One of which being Jacob Clements, the other one being Kieran Lee, who's another London local. I say that I'm pretty sure I've lost to them playing Kano in a ProQuest semi-finals. I think last time I got lucky and played them at Darksford, and they were playing Verdance, and I beat them on Gravy. So I'm going to put that as we're even. Regardless, in this top 8, we have 1, 2 Arachne Marionettes, We have 1, 2, 3 Gravy Bones Shipwreck Looter,
Yeah.
who I heard was dead. We have 1, 2 Acilio Constellar Intelligence.
Really?
And then we had a cheeky little Dio to round it out as well. It was a fantastic run.
What was the most popular deck?
Most played deck on the day was Syndra.
Was Syndra?
Had one of the worst conversion rates.
And you had Acilios and Gravies in the top.
Had one of the worst conversion rates. Verdance's was pretty bad as well. The metagame's adapted, John. The meta has adapted. The meta will always adapt. Also, not a singular event is not reflective of a metagame at large. Sometimes the decks just don't convert on the day. It does happen. There's also something to be said about a calling metagame being very different to a Worlds metagame, for example.
Yeah.
But no, I'm pretty sure the undefeated deck on day 1, almost leading up to top 8, was Martin Holick on Acilio. So he went in really, and then in the top 8, unfortunately lost his quarterfinals to Gravy Bones, which is a matchup I've played on both sides of and feels incredibly Acilio favored. But sometimes the Gravy does Gravy things, as is the way. And yeah, it was a great. I think the finals ended up being Dio versus Gravy Bones.
Oof.
Which is one of those matchups that, again, I've played not from the Dio side, but I played quite a bit from the Gravy side, and can feel. I put it like this: I'd rather play against Dio than play against Syndra.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, the Dio got off to a pretty good start. There was some incredible scenes, cinematic scenes. There was a particular turn where Paul Van Glissel, the Gravy player, ripped a blind Blood in the Water to block. I think it was a Max V with a boom grenade behind it.
Oof.
And hit the ally off the top and blocked it and staunched the entire turn. And that was the turning point, because then suddenly Dio's looking at a deck going, cool, I've burned through a lot of my resources, and now there's not a lot of my deck left and a lot of damage in the deck left, and we're both at 24.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty good. Obviously that goes the other way, that is a whole different game. But it was eventually won by Gravy.
I heard that deck got nerfed in the last BNR.
I heard that deck
or the BNR before you.
Personally. But again, this is what I mean. It's one of those things where Gravy is a deck that is very adaptable. You can obviously change it to meet the demands of the metagame at large. And in theory, if the room is correct for it, we'll have a good day, because he can win his bad matchups.
Yeah.
Purely because really Gravy's bad matchups are so at odds with what traditionally we've expected from board state decks to have as bad matchups. In day 1, we were all quite aware that if you push him hard and fast, he doesn't really like that.
Yeah. But he's adapted to that,
and the decks have adapted to that. So now it's very similar to the way that Enigma adapted to more aggressive decks like Aurora during that metagame, in that it almost becomes close to a 50-50 to something like Syndra and Dio now, because you've got all these tools defensively to deal with it. Gravy's actual weakness right now, which is why it's so juxtaposed to, say, for example, a deck like Enigma or Prism, is the decks that can fatigue him. The decks that can fatigue Gravy are the decks that actually do beat him, and you see it actually quite a lot. We saw it at the at Worlds as well. Some of the better Gravy players were losing to Victors, because the Victors have come in knowing that actually the Gravies aren't prepared to deal with Victors, because let's be honest, who is?
Yep.
And instead we can block with our block with our clashes on the relevant attacks that actually proc because of the allies, destroy and go for deck damage and that kind of stuff, and just clear every ally and block out everything very efficiently. Now, on the day, it's very obvious that these Gravies did not get those matchups, and instead got matchups that they were prepared for, and as ever, you needed the degree of luck to win any event.
Yes.
And you really need it on Gravy. But it was very well played. The games are very fun to watch. I had a nice time watching them. And the only sad part about it is that obviously I play Gravy.
He's not getting nerfed again.
So I can't complain.
No, you can't complain at all about
Oh,
playing
well, he
Gravy.
might get nerfed again. Like I was saying the other week, I think if they hit Syndra and they hit Verdance, they kind of do need to hit Gravy again as well.
Maybe.
If not necessarily to take him down a peg, but maybe to move him
They even
laterally.
hit them. They didn't make top 8 at the most recent calling.
Well, that's very true. That's very true.
You know.
And there is something to be said about that. But
what happens then? What do I do then? I just start playing Syndra again?
Well, like we said the other week, I think just for the sake of format health, there will be a shake-up to a degree.
I have a 2026 on Syndra if I've done 2025 on
You
Syndra.
can just play Fire John.
That's also true.
Fire's a lot more fun anyway. It's cooler. And you can buy a Marvel Phoenix Flame and really flex on them.
I don't flex.
But you can.
Oh yeah, I can.
You can.
But I'm not going.
And if you're playing fire, you're already flexing. So. But anyway, enough of CC. That was rubbish.
Yeah, enough of CC.
Real
the main
news,
event: Battle Hardened.
Battle Hardened Valencia.
Sage.
The Cuppers, Kyle did a fantastic video recapping the whole thing, so I recommend watching that for more.
Was that advertised on chat? I didn't see that advertised on chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but you just don't read the chat. And that's
I
fine.
haven't kept up over the weekend.
It's fine. You can be a fake fan. That's fine. I recommend watching that for the full breakdown. Kyle goes into a lot more depth than we have time to do.
Oh, was that the day when I only bothered to read one post?
Almost guaranteed.
Yep, fine. There was a lot of non-fab chat that day.
So, spoilers for that video and for the event of Valencia. We're going to discuss probably just the top 8. Really.
By the time this comes out,
Everyone will have watched the video anyway.
You've had a chance to watch it.
Yeah, everyone will have watched it. So for the Battle Hardened Silver Age, which interestingly enough has adult KO on the front. Yeah, the top 8 wasn't overly surprising. I'm going to go by the round 7 rankings. Then we get to see what bubbled as well. We see at the end of Swiss.
Yep.
These on the undefeated deck at 7 wins was Briar.
Oh.
And then top of the 6 ones was another Briar.
Yeah.
Then Ian Zhang, renowned prison player on Ira Crimson Haze.
Yep.
Peter Olsen, who I'm pretty sure I recognise the name of, but I can't place immediately, was on Chain. Arthur Trahay, never heard of him.
How's he spelling Peter?
2 T's. Peter. But he's English. He's British.
He's British. We've played him. You'd recognise him if you saw him. He's played Darksphere and
yeah.
And Spellbound a couple of times.
Arthur Trahay on Bravo Fluttering Showman.
Yep.
Which is a real bunch of whiplash considering the other decks that are available in the format. And then we had.
I think Bravo's one of the top decks.
I do too, but just Arthur Trahay playing it is quite interesting. Antonio Cutter on Oldham. Mariano Rivero on Bravo Fluttering Showman again, and then Pablo Pintor, lesser known name, playing Chain. But then in 9th and 10th, one of which being Francesco Giorgio, we had Ira. We then had another Bravo, we had another Chain, another Ira. At 14, we had an Azalea.
Oof.
And at 16, we had an Icelander.
Yeah.
So there was...
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's a lot more condensed than...
Because Azalea and Icelander are 2 of my bets.
Perhaps you'd like.
2 of my bets are Icelander and Azalea.
And scrolling down, there isn't really anything too... I mean, there's a Dory at 33.
A lot of Runeblade is what I'm hearing. So split damage is good in the format. And dominated disruption is good in the format.
Yes. So there's a lot of... But in terms of top 8, it's kind of what we expected. It was Runeblades.
Yep, Runeblades and
Guardians and Ninjas.
Yeah.
Well, Ninja. There was one Ira.
One Ninja. But with some more just underneath it in the table and an Azalea somewhere, because Azalea's just Azalea busted.
Around the... Well, this is the thing, and this is what we were saying about Azalea. It's what a lot of us have been saying about Azalea, is that when she's firing on all cylinders and hitting consistently, she is the best deck in the format. There's nothing you can really do about it. The issue is...
The consistency.
Yeah. Now, maybe there are ways to make her more consistent.
Just play better. Just play better.
Possibly,
possibly. If you can't rip toxicity off the top 2 turns in a row...
Well, this is another thing as well. Like,
why are you even playing the game?
There's some fantastic players in that top 8, so this is a very good representation of what the best players are capable of in this format. Like, we literally have Arthur Trahay and Pablo Pintor in that top 8.
Yep. And Peter was in the top 8.
And Peter.
And Peter.
I think. Let me double check real quick.
I didn't spot his name there. Not that.
Yep.
Well done him. Well done him.
I believe actually he won.
What? What? That's huge.
It looks like he did in fact win on Chain.
Oh my god.
Fantastic. Ended up being
he deserves it. He's
a final of Chain versus Briar, which, if anyone knows me, is something akin to a waking nightmare for myself. In 2 of my possibly most hated decks of all time when it comes to CC in Chain and Briar. People know that I have a particular distaste for Runeblade.
I've heard.
Specifically Shadow and Mixed Earth.
That's why you've got all the Runeblade cards. So
that's why I love playing Florian so much, yeah. Well, exactly. I bought them so no one else can use them quite
Taking off the
Florin's
team.
different. Florin's a guardian. And also, Vincent's cool, unlike Shane. So, but then, yeah, we have Ian Zhang on Ira losing in the semi-finals. So coming very, very close.
I've heard people saying Ira's going to be good. We know Ira's going to be good.
I've got a lot of reps on Ira already, and sometimes he just feels so incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
You do such silly things, such ridiculous numbers, that you just don't give your opponent time to set up anything crazy. Like, you kill Shane before he gets his third Soul Shackle.
Yeah.
So what are you supposed to do? Block? With your 2 blocks?
That's the Azalea dream as well.
And then into something like Briar, you can actually end up blocking a lot of her damage and still presenting good tip for tat, so she doesn't get the benefit of her embodiments. Obviously, Briar can also just sack you and make an embodiment, give Snatch Go again, Lightning Press over the top, that kind of rubbish too. But that's kind of where the format is to a degree, unless you're doing something quite silly, quite broken, or playing a deck like Oldhim or Bravo to keep them in check. Kind of, what are you doing?
Sending 22 damage.
Well, that's something broken.
Dominated.
And the thing is, the decks like Oldhim and Bravo on the right hand go,
that's fine.
Cool,
yeah.
I'm going to Staunch Response.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Hand,
I know.
unmovable from Arsenal.
So,
like, the potential's there. I mean, again, an Azalea floating around, it might not be because Azalea is necessarily weak. It might just be that people weren't willing to take the risk on a deck like Azalea when more consistent options exist.
And Battle Hardened, to be fair, as discussed, her lack of consistency hurts her.
Yeah, it very much looked like the kind of... Oh, I'm pretty sure like 1 loss puts you in potential for the bubble.
One loss is bad, and Azalea will take a loss.
And 2 losses is dead.
Yeah, 2 losses is dead. Whereas at a calling,
2 losses is 2
losses isn't great.
Well, 2 losses is probably your cut.
Yeah.
So you've got the extra game for it to go out.
That's right.
But again, this is data we can use. It's data we will learn from, and data that possibly in 2 weeks' time will be irrelevant.
Because of a BNR and a set coming out. I know. It's a tough time. Tough time to be in TCGs.
Well, exciting, but yeah, okay, I'll give you to a degree tough. Like, it's very exciting to try and find a deck that can carry itself and perhaps won't be too impacted by BNR and perhaps can see benefit from cards in the new set. But obviously, because we haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
No spoiler this weekend, by the way, at the calling. No new cards.
That's disappointing.
Chat was livid. Chat was begging for a spoiler.
Why have they done that? They've got a set coming out.
It makes just all the more eager, John. Got to keep them keen. Got to treat them mean to keep them keen.
But how do upstanding content creators like us talk about cards and cardboard and hype
We
things?
can talk about
There's
the
nothing
Tekla
to
ones
hype.
again. I'd love to talk about the Tekla ones again.
Let's not talk about the Tekla cards again.
I don't know, but again, we're coming into what is typically the slow time for LSS. Like, over the Christmas period is when there aren't too many events. Like, Skirmish is filling that gap this time, but again, none of us are treating Skirmish overly well.
I think that's like 1 person, 2 people taking it seriously in chat.
Well, I'm taking it seriously because I don't want Kyle to win, so maybe 3.
Okay. And Carl's probably not taking it seriously, so yes.
Oh no,
3.
Kyle really wants to win.
Oh really? Okay,
Yeah.
so 4. 4 people taking it seriously in chat, and by seriously, that's Pippa and Aiden 3.
Oh yeah, and by seriously, they'll have decks. I don't think Aiden 3's taking that seriously, and I think Pippa's probably going to play Berserker Run. So there's we're in that sort of limbo where there's not much to talk about.
I mean, Emperor's still legal in Blitz, right?
Yeah, without Storm Stride, it's a bit worse though.
Oh, okay.
Considerably worse. I think we might see something soon.
Well,
maybe we might see something.
There's 2 more Sage
week.
events this year.
Yeah, this year or before? Let me.
Okay,
Let me consult the tome.
There's 2 more Sage events before the world premiere.
That I know to be.
Let's
true.
go with that. 2 more Sage events for the world premiere.
Yeah.
Both of which, one of which is still pre-BNR. It's next weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. So next weekend we've got a pre-BNR Sage event. So we've only got 1 post-BNR Sage event before the new set. The new set shakes things up as well.
Yep.
I still feel like my strategy is incorrect.
Oh.
I still feel like my strategy is incorrect, and I should be focusing on Briar, Ira, But now I'm just following the
Fi.
top decks.
I think Fi's real
fine.
potential.
I think Fi's fine.
I'm surprised I didn't see any Fi, because I think Fi is actually such a good deck.
I think Fi's good.
But all of my testing so far, he just does some silly things and just punches through and does the kind of numbers that you sometimes do in Ira every game.
Yeah.
So I think. Yeah.
Are you on a Draconic Fi or a
I'm on Draconic Fi because I have a Cold Fall Emberblade.
Right.
I think could actually Rupture Fi is perfectly strong as well.
Yep.
We have a Battle Hardened in Singapore, 5th to the 7th. But that's Classic Constructed. All 3 events. So then we're going to go to Korea, South Korea, for the Battle Hardened in Seoul, which is going to also be Classic Constructed. Then we have Vienna, just down the road.
Yep.
Is going to shake things up and be Classic Constructed. But the ProQuest Plus on the Sunday is going to be Silver Age. We get a little bit of data from that one.
From ProQuest Plus.
But I'm pretty sure this one, Calling Seattle, does have the Battle Hardened
Calling
Silver
Seattle
Age.
Yes.
And that is
this weekend.
The 12th to the 14th.
It's next weekend.
The next weekend.
Not this weekend.
So we have a whole week, John.
What are we going to talk about next week? That's rubbish.
I can just make some stuff up if you want. We might get. But this is why I think we might get
a spoiler just to maintain a little hype cycle.
Just to keep us edging along.
Don't know.
But we can talk about Classic Constructed. We can talk about Blitz. We can
talk about what happened in Skirmish. Bye Blitz.
Skirmish.
Because it's the slow season. I do feel bad by not having a Rune Blade on the bench for Sage. I do feel that's a mistake on my part.
Jimmy's favourite little princess class.
I feel like I should be thinking Rune Blade.
I am flabbergasted that Viscerai isn't in contention for one of the stronger decks.
Because Chain and Briar are talented Rune Blades, and that makes them infinitely better.
But they don't have the extra text of every Runeblade card you play makes an extra rune charge.
No, they have other extra text that makes them also busted.
Doesn't matter if you kill them, John. You get to go Morvarin Skies into Shriller Shriek form.
I might
Busted.
have to. I don't want to expand to a 4th deck. It's hard enough. Life is hard enough.
And this is perhaps one of the key issues, not necessarily the words, but definitely like discussion points of Sage, is that it is an incredibly low barrier to entry format. You can build as many decks as you want.
Yeah.
But you can't perfect them.
No.
And you can't learn them to like a high degree perfect level, assuming you have.
I'm really comfortable with
a day job
and Azalea. I'm really comfortable with Fi and Azalea. I have put together Icelander, but it stretches me because I didn't play Icelander in CC. And so I'm going to have to learn Icelander to make that meaningful.
And she is a deck that you do need to learn.
Yeah.
Not saying that aggro decks, that like Fire decks like Ira aren't,
Whereas I can slot any card into, like, if they print a couple of busted cards for Fi or Azalea, I can slide those in and make them work.
This is the thing. Before we even get to new cards, there's still like a lot to, because again, there's a lot to solve. There's a lot to. I think right now we're looking at a Sage meta game where we can probably say Chain's the best deck, and so we can probably safely assume if we do see some bans, Chain's going to be one of the decks that hit.
But I still don't think they're banning anything in Sage.
I think they are.
I don't think they will.
I think they probably have to. If they want one of their premier competitive formats for their new set to be an exciting watch, they don't want the decks that have been the best decks in format for the last 3 months to be the best decks.
I think they rely on Pen to do that.
Well, it depends. Maybe
I
the cards.
I think that's the play is we don't have to ban anything. This new set is coming. Let's hype the new set.
The only issue I have with that is that I really shudder to think at the power level of cards that have to be printed in that set to bring other decks on par with something like Chain.
But I think
with something like Ira or something like Alden.
I don't think it's just pure power level. I think there's consistency and also just your deck being tweaked to do the right busted thing for the meta, and for your meta as you gem into it, not the because there's 2 metas in the room. There's the meta of the room and the meta that you see. True. And if you have,
I guess this is another fundamental flaw with Sage, is that because you have so considerably less sideboard space than you do in CC. It's so much harder for you to play a reactive deck and have those options.
Yeah.
It's why proactive decks are
Doing
rewarded
well.
a lot more. It's why the reactive decks that do well are Oldham, a deck who is obviously able to still play a relatively proactive game plan and just have this reactive stuff built into his blue base and his ability, right, by being able to pitch it to react as you want. Like Ice React is obviously incredibly busted on Oldham. And in theory, you could argue Bravo Flattering Showman is a reactive deck in that he does have disruption, but obviously he's presenting it very proactively in usually 9 to 11 dominating.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
So he's looking to close the game as quickly as possible. He just doesn't want you to play it while he's doing that. So it's kind of very hard to bring those reactive decks in. Like a deck like Icelander, again, is only able to play reactive because so much of a disruption is proactive. He's presenting disruption and arcane damage and frostbites via being Icelander. You can't see a deck, perhaps. Well, you definitely can't see a deck like Teklo taking on these kinds of decks. You can't see a deck, well, really something like Decimator, and you don't see Decimator Warrior doing particularly well for the same reason, right? Because these decks that can present these offensive overlaps, to use the phrase coined by LSS, it isn't enough. You can't block it all out. You can't gain enough life with Sirens. You can't.
You know what new mechanic we might see? We might see a 2-of limit on cards. You know, we got legendaries 1-of in the deck. Maybe we'll see some cards printed at rare that are limited to 2-of in the deck.
What, exclusively for Sage?
And well, you can play them in CC, but now you've only got 2 of them.
Well, before we even look at balancing CC's metagame, that's the thing. Like, again,
yeah, exactly. Because I mean, that's a real challenge, is balancing 2 formats. And when the life totals are
and that's why they have said, cool, we're gonna have this lower life young hero format, and we're gonna say M's are printed exclusively for CC now.
Yes, M's are printed exclusively for CC.
Which makes balancing them a bit easier because you don't have to worry about.
And maybe
Sage.
they will be aggressive with the ban list.
I mean, I do think they can be as heavy-handed as they want because
that's true, because it's such a cheap format. So
exactly.
they can literally just go, nope, none of these cards.
Because again,
every hero loses something pretty busted, now come up with something else.
And this is something you were saying obviously a few weeks back now, then, that bans don't have to ever be permanent either.
That's true.
By virtue of the way that the format is going to evolve, with heroes being banned for seasons by player vote, if they want to hit chain and sort of like bring them down a peg, and then the player base decides to take them out anyway, there's a world where in a season or so they go, you know what, we're going to unban X, and if you want to unban Ebb and Fold, for example, which probably does need to go, to be fair, they can unban Ebb and Fold and say, look, if you want to vote for chain to go out again, you're more than welcome to. If you think, there's some time in the sun to be had for chain, then we'll let them in, that kind of stuff. Obviously, there's lots to be discussed about whether this player voting thing will work as well as perhaps they'd like it to, or perhaps as well as the players would like it to. I do think fundamentally, if it doesn't do well, then it is kind of up to the players. It is what it is. But as a man who tends to play decks that he enjoys, opposed to decks that are necessarily the best in format, I'm just chuffed to be here. I'm just happy to be here, right? Like I'm going to play Rhino with Smell Fear, and I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to present 14 with 4 Intimidates on turn 0, and still lose the game. And I'm going to be chuffed to bits when I do it.
Didn't you win that game?
No.
Oh.
No. I have won games where I have done that.
Okay.
The issue is you use half your equipment to do it. So.
Yeah.
But the format is starting to take shape. We're starting to see the heavy hitters. We're starting to see, this Runeblade, Guardian, Ninja triangle form. And a BNR could shake it up. A new set could shake it up. But it also could not.
Yeah.
I'd rather see it.
We're going to find out for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
We're going to find out for 2 weeks. Like I said, it's going to make next week's podcast really tough, John.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Energy Potion, a Flesh and Blood podcast. If you liked it, please consider subscribing for more. If you disagree with any of these opinions, please let us know in the comments, and we'll either defend them robustly or completely cave and agree with you. This podcast was made possible with help from the team at Le Bon 22 Productions and a special donation from the Cracked Bauble Appreciation Society and their sponsors.